Hello. So, picture a guy. Let's call him Todd. To you, he seems like just an average guy, and for example, he tells you he's in love with this girl that, let's call her Jessica. I don't know. So, basically, she's a girl that is like really popular. A girl like Jessica will never be with a guy like Todd because secretly, Todd is average not because he doesn't do anything, but he's average because he does bad habits that make him a weak man. Therefore, a girl like Jessica or any other girl, even if she's like a 5 out of 10, they will not chase a man like Todd. So that's why I made 5 bad habits and I'm gonna list them to you and explain them that make you a weak man and the habits that you should avoid. So, habits number one and number two, I put them together because they're very similar, which are scrolling too much social media and watching porn. So, nowadays, basically, social media is as bad as watching porn because it's basically soft porn. When you open Instagram, you can see ass, girls shaking ass and shit like that. Open TikTok, you see the same thing. YouTube, ass, same thing. All these OnlyFans girls promoting their business, selling nudes for $3.99. It's a really bad habit if you're indulged in these works. If you are paying for somebody's OnlyFans, you should quit as soon as you can. Just cancel it. It makes you weak. Sinking too much time into scrolling without even realizing. Basically, these industries that run apps like Instagram, TikTok, they are designed to put you in a trance-like state where all you're doing is just looking at a screen and just swiping every 10 to 20 seconds for hours and hours on end, and it never stops. You're gonna do it today. You'll do it tomorrow, a day after tomorrow, and you'll keep doing it for months and months, weeks and weeks, and then you're gonna wonder where your life just disappeared. So obviously, just stop scrolling social media is really hard to do because it's tempting. It's all this dopamine that hits your brain quickly. As soon as you open Instagram and you go to the search tab, you have so many videos, like 10 videos on a page, and everything is just quick dopamine to your brain. So because of this, your view towards the world is changed. Therefore, you will never look at a girl the same way someone will who never indulges in these bad habits. And you will see it like it's toxic. All these girls that are behaving like hoes, showing nudes for $3.99, shaking their ass, and then you will think of every girl that you meet in public. You will come off as weird. You will never talk to them properly. You will not know how to talk to them. So basically, when you're watching porn, what it does to our brain is that there's a part of our caveman brain that is not yet evolved enough to understand this. In the past, we've had these technologies for the past 10 to 20 years. Like this part of the brain has not had time to catch up with all this, which is why when you're watching porn, you get rock hard, obviously, because that part of the brain thinks that this is real, that you're actually having sex, that you have so many mating options, even though you're just a loser. When you watch porn and you're like jerking off and you bust a nut, that's basically the peak of male life. And the peak of male life is basically to impregnate as many women as possible. Like that's the caveman side of the male brain. What do you do after you bust a nut, after you impregnate a female? Basically what you do, what your brain is automatically set to do, is to do nothing, rest, eat high-fat foods, sleep. You don't need to go to work, you don't need to go to gym, you don't need to take care of yourself. Why? Because you've achieved the peak male life. So basically it strips you from the motivation to go and do the things that will actually help you attract females and have sex. So habit number 3 is video games. You might think even an hour a day for gaming is alright. It's enough to put you off course in your daily life. These games have nothing of value to give you except for quick dopamine, and that is not worth it. It's not a deserved feeling. It's not a feeling of victory. You get quick dopamine from playing a game and then you switch the game off and that's it. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. You're not happy about it. You actually feel quite fucked up because you just realize, hey, I've played a game for hours and I don't feel like I've achieved anything. Even though I've done something amazing inside the game, I feel like shit because you've actually done nothing. Habit number 4. Habit 4 is staying up too late. This is more valid than you might think. When you stay up too late, late, it not just fucks up your sleep, but it fucks up your energy, disbalances your diet. Especially if you eat late, then it affects you mentally as well. If you eat sweets or if you eat high fat foods, processed foods. Basically, even worse is if you stay up late to scroll social media, is basically eat your mind away. You won't be able to sleep after consuming so much information that basically means nothing to you. All this information, girls twerking ass, and it's basically wasting all your mind focus. And when you go outside onto the street, even though nobody knows that you jerk off, play games, that you are basically just an average Joe and do nothing of importance, especially in the female's presence. If you are in the presence of a female and basically she feels all this bad aura, she's just gonna not talk to you, ignore you. She might be polite. So going up is habit number 5, not taking care of your diet. So by dieting, I mean, you don't have to follow like a specific diet, like, I don't know, just veggies or just meat. The best thing to do is like eat like a warrior. Think of old-time gladiators, old-time warriors, like these bulky dudes that basically just carry axes and shields and big helmets and all that armor. They carry, they run, they fight. What they ate. What could they eat? In times like those, stop eating bullshit food. Quit drugs, smoking weed, alcohol. These are all part of your diet, not just food. Quit eating late. It's okay to have cheat meals every now and then, to have fun, have ice cream, have pizza, have cake, whatever you want to eat. Eat like a warrior. Train, go to the gym, pay the membership. It's not expensive, every month. In a few years, you're gonna get like a really good looking body, and on the way, you're gonna make some good friends. When you do all these things, it might not seem fun to do all this work. Maybe you have work in the morning, in the afternoon, maybe you go to school, maybe you don't like doing these things. But when you come back home at night, when you take a shower, when you go to bed, you will feel so accomplished and so happy that you actually did so many things in a day. You will actually feel much more happier than if you were to play games all day and get all that dopamine from the games. And you should definitely try this, because a lot of young men don't understand that this is actually fun. When you go into the gym and when you see that fat dude trying to do an exercise, he doesn't know how to do it. Of course, it's cringe. It's obviously cringe. But in a few years, he's gonna look stunning if he keeps doing the same thing, if he keeps improving, taking care of his diet, if he stops doing drugs, if he stops drinking alcohol, if he stops watching porn, looking at Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all these bad habit applications that are just going to ruin your day and take your time and value. Basically, you can turn into the most stunning looking man, rich, good looking, have a good body. If your ultimate goal is just to have sex, then you need to level up everything else in life to be able to have sex. And that's just the game. You can look average and you can get a girlfriend and she will leave you in 2 months, and they won't blame you for it. They'll say, oh, it's me, it's not you, it's me. I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't think I'm ready. And then 3 days later, you see that they're in another relationship, with a man who is much better than you. So to prevent this, you need to take care of yourself, build up your status, look good in front of your peers, especially if you don't have a father figure, if you don't have parents, if you don't have someone to take care of you. You need to take matters into your own hands, no matter how young you are. If you're a high school student or if you're in your 20s, you need to use those years to build yourself up and to put yourself up for a good life. If you don't, the world is gonna eat you up, because that's how the world is. The world is not fair, and basically the world will not care about you. You need to take care of yourself, that the world can see that you are basically good man, that you are important to the world, and then everybody will basically look up to you and take care of you. So that will be it. Basically, do the hard work and see you next time.